The next topic I want to talk on is one of these things that made the headlines, within the last week or two.
Oh,
now we've learned about, one of the most famous producers ever, Dr. Dre, having to pay $300,000 a month to his ex-wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, but there's some math to that, So basically, she'll get about $3.6 million a year for 30 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, but what a lot of people don't realize is that he is worth $800 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like 400 million of that is actual in liquid cash, liquid capital. So once you get to that level of capital gains, the bank gives you a lot more leeway.
Not only just
a lot more
that,
yield, percentage yield.
Not only just that, but do you know what the interest is?
That's interest yield. Yeah, but the yield. So the yield, I think they can, in some financial instruments, they give you up to 10% yield on money just to hold the money in their institution.
Without the 10%, you get $8,000 a month for just holding $1 million in a checking account.
Yeah,
$8,000. I can live off $8,000 a month.
Yeah. And
comfortably.
But that's so now everybody who's hearing this, y'all know the secret. Y'all got a secret. Holler rich, stay rich.
Yeah,
but
let that money sit.
Yeah, so basically he has a number of accounts that like average around 7% yield. So $400 million. If you don't even touch a dime of the money that's actually in the bank, $400 million at a 7% yield is around what? Shit. I can't even count right now.
About $2.5 billion.
No, at about $20 million. So
$20 million. I'm sorry.
About $20 million.
I added an extra zero.
So let's just be modest and say 5. Let's just say be modest and say 5% yield. At $400 million, that's $20 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's $20 million a year that's the secret, people. You have $400 million in the bank. Just in a bank, let's just say a checking account. They're going to give you the yield because they need the money. They need that money to help borrow out to people and everything else. Mm-hmm. So they're going to make around $2 billion off that money.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're gonna make at the very least 100%, profit off of that money. So giving you 5 is absolutely nothing just to keep the money in the bank. So Dr. Dre is probably bringing in about $20 million a year in interest alone.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it don't make no sense. It don't make no difference for him to give 3.6 to an ex-wife for something that he only have to do. So it's like it's one of those things. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. And so here, take that money. You can forever.
But they say the rules is that if she remarried.
That's it. Well, but she has absolutely no incentive to remarry. First of all, because she probably won't find anybody that makes any more money than Dr. Dre, than Dre.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Unless she just lucks up and
find a foreigner.
Yeah, like a foreigner, like dudes like Janet Jackson did.
Mustafa.
Yeah.
It's the beard.
So with that happening is Dr. Dre's eldest child. I forgot her name was Tanya, something like that. She's 38 years old. But she put it out there kind of on social media and everything else. She wasn't necessarily mad or anything because she talked about the ex-wife getting her money. The problem is she said he hasn't necessarily been a good father to her. And got to the point where he was paying her rent, right?
Right.
While he was paying her rent, that type of thing, he stopped paying her rent around March of 2020. What happened in March of 2020?
Right.
There's a pandemic. So, you know, I think there's something else that was going on and she didn't want to talk about it, or she, you know, that's a part of the story that I want to really know about. So she had been kicked out of her apartment. And so she said she had been living in her car, which was a rental, which is a rental car.
Wow.
That she was $2,800 behind on the payment. So, you know, so she's just kind of like a slight drag from, you know, about her dad and everything else, because they had, at one point they had agreed that he was going to pay their college tuition, but he reneged on that. And, you know, pretty much for whatever reason, he did not support, you know, her mother, you know, and her sister.
Right.
So it brought about this whole thing for me, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, okay, there's a number of discrepancies here that we need to address.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, and that's the first thing. I was like, first of all, you're 38 years old with 4 children.
Right.
And so my question is, okay, where is any of those 4 children's father?
Right.
You know, now she didn't go into if she had multiple men, you know, multiple, you know, fathers or just as one, or, you know, whatever. She didn't go into that, or didn't, you know, there wasn't any type of thing up. You know, so she voiced to her, and then one of the other things that she did was voice to her embarrassment of knowing that, like, she has to work Uber Eats and DoorDash to make ends meet while she's living in her car. And so I'm like, okay, something must have happened.
Right.
For him to just stop paying your rent. You know, first of all, that's one word, operative word, let's go there, rent. Your father is pretty much a billionaire.
Right.
How, pray tell, did you not do any planning?
Right.
Any planning whatsoever? You know, for your future or whatever. You know, were you just spending, or you just
spend it all?
You know,
well, you thought that gravy train wasn't gonna never stop,
Right.
and I mean, that's your daddy. I get it,
but he's not obligated.
but you grown. You grown.
You don't owe anything.
Yeah, he don't owe you nothing.
Nope.
I mean, and then on top of that, you got 4 of your own children. So what kind of precedent are you
I would have
setting?
stopped at 1.
Yeah, but what kind of precedent are you setting for your kids? So if your kids, when they get to be of age, start doing the same thing that you were doing, you're going to have a fit because you don't have the access to the money that your father has.
right.
But my thing is, your father being who he is, why didn't you buy a house?
Exactly.
Why are you renting?
Right.
Why are you
Why
renting?
are you in a rental car? So that lets me know that whatever he did give you, you squandered it.
Right.
You squandered it. And he like, well you ain't learned, so guess what? You're on your own.
I think the way she was setting up the narrative is that he didn't do any of that for her. Like,
I doubt that seriously.
you know, I mean, of course we all doubt that, you know.
But my thing is, as a father, when my daughter was younger, you get them $300 to $700 phone calls. And the
Daddy.
first, exactly. See, that's the first thing. Daddy. And then you get, see what had happened was. And then you get the story.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But I mean, that happened until my daughter was maybe 21. And then now, we got a little fiance, they live together, whatever. And, she got that French hustle system going on.
Yeah.
Multiple streams of income.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? you got to grind. Don't nobody owe you nothing. Now, if she in a pinch, daddy coming through like a champion.
Yeah.
But my thing is, now at 27 years old, you not in my pocket like you was when you was a kid.
Right.
You know, now when you was in high school, you was in college, guess what? Daddy obligated.
Right.
Daddy gonna make sure
You got
it go down like it's supposed to go down. But you know, you done moved in with somebody, you about to get married, you grown.
Right.
So guess what?
And once kids come in there,
There you go,
it's all
partner.
right.
You got that.
Yeah.
Right.
This is yours.
This is your responsibility. It's not my responsibility no more.
Right.
Now, if anything happen, you know, she's sick or y'all not together no more, she needs some money to move, whatever.
Right.
Daddy
Got
coming.
you. Right.
I got you,
Different.
baby. You straight.
Right.
But that every month I got to no.
Yeah.
No. I sing
So-
that
And then
song.
with the 4
My
kids,
money is
I
my
just
money.
Don't understand that.
My
Yeah,
money
yeah.
is my
I
money.
I never understood that concept. I'm not saying you shouldn't have kids,
Mhm.
but if you are struggling with one,
Right.
okay,
Why keep repeating the
keep
same
repeating
cycle?
the same, like putting yourself in that same.
You're putting yourself
I
further and
don't-
further
I
behind the
don't get
8
it.
ball.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
like it don't make no sense. It took me one time, and he what?
Yeah.
Gone on 20.
And you understood quick,
I
didn't you?
understand. Well, because see, my mama told me what I told mine. I got shit to do every day.
Right.
That's your baby.
Right.
Bitch, I got shit to do. And I
Right.
was 21 when I had my son.
Mm-hmm.
But she still had shit to do every day. She said, if I'm sleeping on my sofa and ain't doing shit, bitch, I still got shit to do every day. Bitch, I got shit to do.
That just let you know she wasn't.
She wouldn't. I'm not intervening in that, and I'm not being a part of that.
No.
That's yours.
You
So
did that.
If you put
You
yourself
did.
in that.
You did that.
You did
Right.
that.
You did
But
that.
I like how y'all did that because that was the question I was going to pose. You know, because there are some people who are looking at Dr. Dre, and like I said, I'm no defender of Dr. Dre at all.
Right.
You know, because he has his own set of, you know, dumb shit that he's done. You know, especially when it came to women. You know, in his relationships with women.
What I mean, my money,
Yeah.
money mean, give me. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You know, you. Come on, bro. You already know.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Money makes for some strange bedfellows.
Right.
You know, so I get that, like, you know, and so it once again it raises up the question because I think I did this in another episode. I raised the same question: at what point do you believe that the hands should go off?
Right.
You know, at what point do you believe that, you know, is it just an objective thing where it's just, you know, whenever I believe they are mature enough, or you know they are confident enough to handle that.
I think it should be a combination of both. And the reason that I say that is everybody don't mature at the same level.
Of course,
But my thing is, if I'm helping to take care of you and you keep making the same mistakes, then I need to let you make your mistakes
Make your
until
mistakes, yeah.
you figure it out.
right,
Right.
If I'm helping you, I'm not going to sit there and aid in the bed or assist you or
Yeah.
enable you to keep making the same mistakes. I'm not going to do
Not
that
gonna do that.
because that's going to put me
right,
in the hole.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? But I think it should be a combination of both. Whether their level of maturity is where it needs to be, or if they've taken the time and they've taken the assistance to help get themselves financially secure where they can start taking care of themselves.
right.
You know what I'm saying?